All right, it's 5:15 for our City of Wenatchee regular council meeting. First thing we'll do is a pledge of allegiance. Councilmember Rogers, will you lead us, please?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we do have, can I get a motion for Councilmember Ewer?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to excuse Councilmember Ewer from tonight's meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rogers and a second by Councilmember Hornby to excuse Councilmember Ewer. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Councilmember Ewer had like a concert or something with one of her children, just so everybody knows that, I guess. We did move things around a little bit. We're going to do a presentation first because I know there's some people that have lots of things that are going on. So, Councilmember Harrell, would you like to read that into the record, please?
I'd be honored. Whereas the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival has been a Wenatchee community tradition since 1920, and whereas the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is a premier family-oriented festival that showcases our people, community, heritage, and fruit industry, and whereas the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival royalty helped promote this ongoing community celebration and act as ambassadors to our community, for our community at local, state, and international celebrations. And whereas Ella Johnson has been selected as the 2025 Festival Queen, with Deja Carlson and Yasmin Perez selected as the 2025 Festival Princesses. Now therefore, I, Mike Poyer, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby formally congratulate and bestow our appreciation to the 2025 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Queen Ella Johnson and Princesses Deja Carlson, Yasmin Perez. In witness whereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Wenatchee to be affixed on this 27th day of March 2025. Mayor Mike Poyer.
Thank you, Councilmember Harrell. So we sometimes do the presentations after the citizen comments, but I know we have three people that are busy and they have to go. And it's interesting because as you guys are learning all the responsibilities and everybody's looking at you guys, and it's your role models if you want to be or not, but you guys are figuring all that out. So I appreciate you guys being involved with the community. Would you come on up here, please? And I heard you have a little song, but should we do that at the end, or?
We can do that now.
Let's do it now. Let's kind of get some exciting.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Just know that we weren't crowned because we were singers, but good speakers and representatives, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, it is on.
We might ask you to sing on some parts. When it began, way back in 1920, the Hara Valley's come so far. Was in the spring, with the parade and food fair, Terry and Jen are like our moms. Hey, you can sing this part, don't be shy. Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Ba-dum. Sweet City Council, the best time ever. It's so good, so good, so good. Apple Blossom's here, bum, 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 and we're all so full of cheer.
have it.
Thank you, guys.
Fan.
Okay, now you get to talk about something else.
Yeah, we're super honored to be here, not only just representing the Apple Blossom Festival, but getting to represent our community, like you said, being role models to young girls to be strong women, but as well as just the Wenatchee Valley and our generation to step up, to have a voice, to be involved, in their civic duties. I think it's what you guys do here is super important, and to be more involved with that. The royalty would like to invite all of you formally to come to the Apple Blossom Festival, to not only just see what the community has put so much effort into, but to just really experience the beauty of Wenatchee at its fullest. That's going to be from April 24th through May 4th, and the big parade weekend is what Deja is going to talk to you about.
Yes, so exciting. On April 26th will be the Grand Parade. Youth Parade, sorry. She's doing the Youth Parade, and she'll talk about Youth Day as well. Those are both really fun days. April 27th will be the Youth Day. So the big parade is the weekend after the Youth Parade, and it'll have all the floats, all of the fun bands. It's a really fun experience if you haven't been to it before. We'll be there in our big dresses, so we'll wave to you. It's a very big part of Apple Blossom, so I would definitely recommend that you all attend.
That's May 3rd for the big parade.
Deja pretty much covered it. The youth parade is going to be on April 26th, correct? And the youth day is going to be on April 27th. I encourage you guys to come. Like they said, the grand parade is going to be on May 3rd. It's going to be filled with a lot of fun and exciting events. And we can showcase to you guys our beautiful dresses, all the beautiful floats, and it'll be awesome to say hi to you all.
Yeah, bring your kids or grandkids or whatever, nieces and nephews to the youth parade. They have a ton of fun, and we love to talk to them, and they love to just see kind of like the royalty, just for what we are. But also, we'd love to have conversations with you, more mature conversations than we would have with a 5-year-old maybe, to just talk about what we do or how we can better represent the Wenatchee Valley. So thank you guys.
These, I had the privilege to sit with them in a couple different venues and personalities they have. And what was exciting, and I struggle to try to go to the final pageant. Yeah, I struggle with that because I get so nervous about all the 10 young ladies up there. And every single one of the 10 made me so, it was so impressive, because you're worried about their speeches, right? And they all did incredible, and you guys know that, and it's just, it was impressive. It makes me want to go back again. So I know. So I'd like to, if you don't mind, just standing back here. We'll get one picture with some of the city council right here, and then we're set. Thank you guys. Oh, thanks, Dan. Maybe we could. Yeah.
Come on over, guys. Come. Let's get closer.
He's so short, I might disappear. There's my window.
Tuck in like that.
Thanks, ladies. And now to your next stop. Okay. Thanks again. All right, we had one wonderful presentation tonight, and now it's going to be our citizen comments. This period to provide opportunity for the members of the public to address the council on any matter, including items on the agenda. Comments on the public hearing items will be taken during public hearing. We do not have any public hearing tonight, I don't believe. As you'll notice when you come up, there's a 3-minute clock here. We are going to regulate it to 3 minutes, and I know a couple of you are going to tag team, which is great, but just come on up and say your name and address for the record, and who would like to be first?
Down. Hello, my name is Maria Hansen. My address is 1206 Red Apple Road in Wenatchee. I am here on behalf of a group that has been helping Ukrainians who have come as refugees from the war. And then we have a brief statement, and then we have a petition. We had a rally on March 9th in Memorial Park where hundreds of people came to show their support for Ukraine and for those people who have come to our community. We come to you on behalf of hundreds of private citizens and voters in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties who have donated, volunteered, and rallied in support of Ukraine refugee families living in our 3 counties. We submit a petition signed by 199 Washingtonians in support of all Ukrainians fighting for their nation's sovereignty and democracy. Our charitable organization was formed in Wenatchee shortly after Russia began its war of aggression on Ukraine in February of 2022. Our mission has been to help stabilize Ukraine refugees who fled Russia's devastation of their homeland and settled here in our 3 counties. Hundreds of supporters have donated money, time, and other resources to help refugee families make the transition to stable and productive lives here. The United States government established legal pathways for Ukraine refugees to enter our country and find work to support their families. Approximately 50 Ukrainian families have followed the arduous path to become contributing citizens here in Central Washington. We ask all of our elected officials to honor the laws of the United States, which allow refugees to live here free from persecution, to forge new lives for their families, and to find peace and stability. Legal refugees who come to live and work here and now have their stable lives suddenly revoked and be forced to leave the United States is not what we want. We must speak out loud and clear that the U.S. will continue to back Ukraine's commitment to its freedom and self-government. We come here to honor legal status of refugees living peacefully amongst us. Thank you.
So we'll start the 3 minutes over.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Suzanne Pitts. I live at 1328 Orchard in Wenatchee. So as Maria referenced, we had a rally here in town with hundreds of people, and a petition was signed by 199 people. We have sent this petition and with the signatures to all levels of our elected representatives, from the cities and counties that we have been serving all the way up the chain, state and federal representatives. So I will read the petition, and then we've submitted a copy to you. We, the undersigned registered voters and people of Chelan, Douglas, and neighboring counties of the state of Washington, do hereby petition our elected representatives. We ask you to continue steadfast our local, state, and national support of Ukraine, including but not limited to our support of the sovereignty, government, and armed forces of Ukraine, its and our defensive and offensive weaponry, its and our cybersecurity, our economic aid, and our funding to rebuild Ukraine. We ask you to continue steadfast the long-standing policy of the United States to vigorously oppose the violation by Russia of the sovereignty of Ukraine, which policy of the United States began with the invasion of the Crimean Peninsula by Russia in 2014, and which policy of the United States continued uninterrupted after the invasion by Russia of the remainder of Ukraine in 2022. We ask you to continue to help stabilize refugees from the war in Ukraine who reside in North Central Washington, who reside in other regions of our state, and who reside in these United States. At the local and state levels, we ask you to continue to provide economic assistance to refugees from the war in Ukraine who have not yet obtained gainful employment or who are unable to obtain employment due to infirmity. At the federal level, we ask you to continue to provide to these refugees their temporary protected status and their employment authorization documents, and we ask you to expedite the granting of their family petitions and their asylum petitions. We ask you to continue uninterrupted the forceful economic sanctions in place today that were first ordered against Russia by President Barack Obama in 2014, were continued by President Donald Trump in 2016, and were further continued by President Joe Biden in 2020. Thank you for your support of Ukraine and for the refugees from the war in Ukraine who reside with us. And we are happy to answer questions. As Maria said, our organization has been working with local refugees for 3 years now to help them stabilize in their new lives here. Thank you.
Thank you. And as you noted, you sent the petition to us and to all the city council. All right, who's next? Oh, this gentleman just stood up, so come on up, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Joshua James. I live at 614 Okanagan Avenue. We are here again to voice our concerns of the continued adverse impacts to the surrounding residents on Okanagan Avenue as a result of the proposal by the City of Wenatchee and associated activities at or near 609 Okanagan Avenue. The City of Wenatchee's vision statement, which is to create community through responsive leadership and services for the citizens and visitors of the Apple capital of the world. Yet the city has been deliberately and intentionally unresponsive to us after 9 months, and only after 9 months did we receive a letter stating that you're going to take no action to address our concerns or do anything. And that's exactly what the city has done. Nothing. So where is the response in the responsive leadership? We have not received that. It has been over a year since we have first brought forth these concerns. This is not a partisan issue. As of February of 2024, we've had over 1,600 public demonstrators and now close to over 5,000 noise nuisances, often occurring 12 or more hours a day in our residential neighborhood. In addition to ongoing safety concerns given the increased risk profile of this environment, changes to the neighborhood character, impacts to health and welfare, and potential loss of property values. All of which we have documented, all of which we have submitted, all of which are stated in the conditional use permit and/or application. Is the city therefore unable or unwilling to take action to address these concerns? We received the March Community Insider, and in it, it states that you are committed to making sure you all receive exceptional service for our hard-earned tax dollars and asking the tough questions to come up with the best solutions. We have been asking the same question for over a year and for a solution to this. With all due respect, we have not received exceptional service from the City of Wenatchee. When we left our home this evening, we had public demonstrators out in front of our houses, out in front of our homes, and noise violations, honking. And when we return to our home this evening to sit down to eat dinner, we will still have public demonstrators and continuous noise violations out there. We will continue to pursue this issue and gain public awareness and support as we have. We ask the city to be responsive and provide us and those on Okanagan Avenue with exceptional service. We ask and we continue to ask for a solution to this. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Who's next, sir?
My name is Jerry Lisowich. I live up in Chelan, South Shore. I'm retired after 30 years with the Boeing Company, and I was a field service rep for Boeing, and I worked in Canada, Texas, Yugoslavia, and I also started the very first office, Boeing office, in Ukraine, in Kiev, Ukraine. My mom was about 100 years old. She passed away here in Wenatchee, regrettably. And some of her funds were state funds. I'm helping orphans and widows in Ukraine who have suffered from the war. And also I have cousins in Zolochiv who are familiar with the mayor. And getting to the point, one of my cousins suggested by letter, and I'd like to provide that letter to you guys. It's a little bit dated, but there wasn't any response to the letter, official response. It's directed to you, Mayor Poyer. If I can hand this letter
Yes,
to you guys.
of course.
Yeah. And it's, what I'm really asking for is a studied, reasonable response of the possibility of Wenatchee becoming a sister city with Ukraine, with Zolochiv in Ukraine. I understand you have a sister city relationship right now in Japan. And officially, I guess Tunda, I don't know if any of you guys know, that you're also a sister city with a city in Russia. Well, with what's happening recently in Russia and all that, I'd like for you to give serious thought about perhaps canceling that relationship with Russia. So really, that's basically it. I'd like you to really think seriously about becoming a sister city with Ukraine. And I think if it would be a tremendous morale boost and heartfelt boost to the citizens of Wenatchee, to the mayor of Zolochiv, if there were such an arrangement made. I know it's a lot of effort to become a sister cities relationship, but it would really be a feather in Wenatchee's, so to speak, corporate heart to do this. As far as I know, there's no other city in the state of Washington that has a sister city relationship. You guys would be enjoying the first relationship. So really, you followed the news. You've noticed that President Trump and Vice President Vance have been extremely discourteous, I believe, to the president of Ukraine. I think there's a sense of hospitality and goodwill that exists here is much better than what exists recently in our Washington, D.C. office. So please take a look at the letter, and I ask for a direct response from you guys, from the mayor or the council, to the mayor of Zolochiv, yay or nay, but just a good heartfelt response. It would lighten their hearts if they received.
Thank you. So I'll take the letter, and then I'll give it to every city council person here.
Oh, great.
Okay?
Great,
All right.
super, thank you.
Yep. Thank you for coming. Come on up, sir.
Yes, I'm Keith Madsen, and I live at 2600 Fancher Landing on the East Wenatchee side, but I do work at the hospital on this side as a chaplain. I just want us to consider what it means to love our country. What it means to love our country, and that means to love what it has traditionally stood for. There is a statue in the harbor of New York that says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your homeless masses, yearning to breathe free." Let's stand for what our country has stood for. And that means taking care of those people who've come for refuge here, the Ukrainians and others too, but right today talking about the Ukrainians. I've served as teaching English as a second language to, I think, 15 or 16 of the Ukrainian refugees. And I have come to find them as friends, not just people who are from a foreign country, as friends, as people. I urge you to support what our country has always stood for. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Who's next? Anybody online? Okay, we'll close the citizens' comment period and we'll go to our consent items.
You got it?
Yep. Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve there we go. Agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meetings and resolution number 2025-09, amending the 2025 designation of representatives to various community boards, councils, and organizations, and authorizing the representatives to vote on the city's behalf. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Member Ronci and second by Council Member Hornby for City Council to approve the agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meetings and resolution number 2025-09, amending the 2025 designation of the representatives to various community boards, council and organizations, and authorizing representatives to vote on the city behalf. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Where are we at? Action items already. Project engineer, Mr. King.
I'm crashing the party a little bit as well.
All
Ryan Harmon, Engineering Services Manager. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here basically to just make the introduction to Jesse, our newest project engineer, making us fully staffed for the first time in a year and a half. So we're very excited about that. One of the first benefits of that is this project that we've got in front of you tonight was originally slated for a 2027 construction, just kind of to accommodate that staffing effort. And so that's been accelerated by a year, and Jesse will go into more of that. No, he's been a great addition, joining us by way of Douglas County most recently, and he's jumping right in. He's been a great asset to the team atmosphere, providing QA, QC ability there, but also just jumping into these projects. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jesse King.
Thanks, Ryan. So, like Ryan said, I'm Jesse King, the newest project engineer here with Public Works. Jumping in with both feet on this SR 285 couplet signal upgrades. So we have two items before the council. We'd like the city council to approve the project budget and authorize the city administrator to sign the project prospectus and local agency agreement. A little background on this project. You know, the city is committed to reducing and eliminating serious injuries and fatality collisions on city roads. In January of 2024, the city updated their local road safety plan, and that facilitates a proactive method to identify locations of high risk due to associations with serious or fatal collisions. The study provided potential solutions for these locations, and potential projects were added to the transportation improvement plan. The SR 285 couplet signal upgrades was one of the projects identified by the road safety plan. The existing signal heads along this corridor are 12-inch red and 8-inch yellow and green signal identifiers. The study suggests upgrading the signal sizes to 12-inch on all of those, and that's in conformance with the recommendations of the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or the MUTCD. The study further suggested providing retroflective backing to all the signals, as well as providing programmable heads. Now, programmable heads, this day and age, you think like digital programming, but this is a little bit different. It's like this tape that you put over the lens, and what it does is as you're driving up to it, if you're far enough away, you can't actually see the colors on the traffic signals, but then when you get to that designated point, you can see. So it kind of eliminates that sea of green as you're driving down the, like Chelan or Mission. You'll only be able to see like one or two lights. So the idea is it'll help reduce traffic just kind of running through those lights. The couplet has approximately 10% of all the collisions in the city, and 35% of those collisions are rear ends, and 23% are T-crashes, traffic crossing. So we're trying to eliminate that with this. This project is funded by the Highway Safety Improvement Program. The total project budget is $835,270, and it is eligible for 100% federal funding, so no city match. The project construction is planned to begin in 2026, and it just takes time to get through the process, especially with the state. And the project prospectus and local agency agreement those are with the state. That actually allows us to start the project and start charging against that grant award. So if you have any questions.
I have a statement. Great explanations, great presentation. It did come up to finance today, and so that was, to me, nice, and level for me to understand. So, yeah, that's a good description and got it all. So, nice job.
Thanks.
Any questions for Mr. King?
I have none. Welcome aboard. And with that, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve the project budget and authorize the city administrator to sign the project prospectus with the local agency agreement for the SR 285 couplet signal upgrades.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Atkinson for City Council to approve the project budget and authorize the city administrator to sign the project prospectus and local agency agreement for the SR 285 couplet signal upgrades. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Great, thank you.
Great job. All right, let's see you top that one.
I'll do my best. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Jessica Shaw, Deputy Public Works Director, Utilities. And tonight, I just have a short presentation to share with you a bit about the plan that I am proposing for adoption tonight. This is the 2024 Chelan County Multi-Jurisdiction Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan, quite a long name, but essentially it's to help our community be better prepared for emergencies. So this plan has been around since 2019, and this is an update. We update it every 5 years, and this is in compliance with FEMA. And some of the objectives of the plan are just for us to be prepared to respond to emergencies. All these pictures are emergencies we've had in Wenatchee. Some of them you may recognize. Flooding, heavy snow events, windstorms, fires. And then the other part of the plan is to mitigate risks. So what can we do to protect our community from these kinds of natural hazards? And then also to make sure that our city infrastructure is resilient. So really it's about responding, about being able to withstand these things, and then to recover more quickly when we do, because we know these things, they happen, right? So we need to be prepared. So as part of this process in updating the plan, we went through and did a new risk assessment of our community. And this is some of the rankings. So severe weather, windstorms are at the top of the list. But earthquake is also pretty high, though not something we see very often. And part of the ranking is not just how often it occurs, but what would be the potential impact if we were to experience this type of event. Of course, wildfire is in the top 3. We see those. Drought, flood, landslide. And then the least of, well, actually avalanche is 0. So this was a very robust analysis, lots of data. They looked at like how much debris would be, how many people would be displaced, all kinds of scary information to help come up with this ranking. And then out of this, we looked at what could we do to be better prepared for these things. So there's also in the city's annex, so the plan has 2 parts. There's the general part that's the overall Chelan County plan, and then there's a specific annex that is specifically to the city of Wenatchee that includes all of this hazard assessment, as well as lots of maps that kind of highlight where these things are likely to occur based on this risk assessment that was done. So the overall overarching hazard mitigation actions, I'll just note that there was a team of fire districts, the county, the community cities in Chelan County, as well as citizens that participated in the update of this plan. And I also want to give a shout out to Stephen Noonschwander in planning. He was my partner in this and helped very much in getting the city's version, the city's annex completed. So the countywide actions that they talked about were mostly about making sure that we can access FEMA funding when events happen, that we're doing countywide education on natural hazards and how to be more resilient, that we're coordinating on a countywide basis our actions. There was also lots of concerns about wildfire smoke, and so some discussion about what we can do to help businesses and people in our community to manage when we have excessive smoke in the valley and make sure people are aware of those risks. And then another big important part was, supporting our local agricultural community during different types of events. So the city annex specifically, I won't go through all the details, but if you look in the annex portion, there's a whole bunch of actions that we've identified. The goal was to make sure these actions would be achievable in the next 5 years. the plans for 2019 through, or 2024 through 2029. And then also that these actions would help improve the city's response and recovery. So as you can see in the picture, this was from the big snow event we had a couple of years ago that dropped several feet overnight. And so we're thinking about how do we manage that? And as if we have flood events, we know we end up with a lot of debris. So those are some things that we'll be looking at, is how do we manage the debris from these events to help our community. And then we also have specific projects listed that were already in the queue, but also have a really important benefit to making sure that we're resilient. And one of those is our 4 million gallon reservoir in Okanagan. It's a drinking water reservoir. It's almost 100 years old and is not likely to survive an earthquake. So we are working to rebuild that and to build one that would be resilient during a seismic event, but also provide more storage for water to help us during wildfires. So the good thing too about having some of these actions that we're already working on, but also part of this plan, is there's possibility of accessing FEMA funding, FEMA grant funding. FEMA has pivoted not only from being able to provide funding when incidents happen, but also to help mitigate in advance things that we know that might be a problem during natural hazards. So we're hoping to maybe access some of those funds for these projects moving forward. So I think that's my last slide. So that's all I have for you tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the hazard mitigation plan. And other than that, I have a proposal for a resolution to adopt the plan.
So let me give a question to Jessica.
All right.
Come on. We've seen this a couple times. Yeah.
What was the one thing that was most enlightening to you that you learned during this process?
I guess I hadn't thought of earthquakes as being such a big deal. I mean, I remember only one here in my lifetime, but there's a lot of, I always thought it was more of a concern, like with Cascadia Rising, but on the west side, and of course they do drills for the earthquake, and they have a lot more of that, but it actually really is a potential risk here. We will also feel that same earthquake, just maybe not to the same magnitude, but it still has the potential to cause some damage in our community, so.
Well, one more thing that popped up, though, is I was surprised that the dams and levees weren't as high of a ranking. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, that was surprising too to me, because we sometimes think about all the water they hold back, but.
Just a little bit up there.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So is liquefaction, is that related to earthquakes?
That
in the
is, yeah,
ground
so,
underneath?
exactly, yes, you're correct.
Good. I'm glad you got 3 questions.
I'll be here.
Good question.
Entertain a motion.
Your Honor, I will move for City Council to pass resolution number 2025-10, adopting the Chelan County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Second. We have a motion by Councilmember Harold and second by Councilmember Cuevas for City Council to pass resolution number 2025-10, adopting the Chelan County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Any other discussion or comments? Thanks for doing this. Appreciate
Thank
it. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for being here. We did add an item that was sent out to everybody last night regarding Chelan County Regional Justice Center contract.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion for the city council to authorize the mayor to instruct the city attorney to initiate and pursue litigation against Chelan County pertaining to the interlocal agreement for the housing of inmates at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. To authorize the mayor to retain specialty legal co-counsel related to the litigation, and to sign any documents to carry out the authorization stated herein.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson and second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to authorize the mayor to instruct the city attorney to initiate and pursue litigation against Chelan County pertaining to the interlocal agreement for the housing of inmates at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center, to authorize the mayor to retain specialty legal co-counsel related to the litigation, and to sign any documents to carry out the authorization stated hereon. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Since the motion carried, I do have a statement here regarding that. Now that City Council has taken this action, the city attorney will move forward with initiating litigation against Chelan County for the services terms of the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. Moving forward, the city council, city staff, and I will be limited in the information we can share on this topic. However, we will be releasing an open letter to the public tonight to give you as much information on why we're taking these steps to protect public safety. I encourage you to read this letter, share it with the community, and reach out to us. While we may not be able to respond, we still want to hear from you to understand the community's thoughts, inputs, and feedback as we go through this process. Okay, we go to reports. We have 3 action items, okay. What have we been doing? The Wenatchee Convention Center progress tour, and Councilmember Atkinson and Councilmember Cuevas, you were there?
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Harold?
And you were.
Yes, I didn't get to go on the tour. They ran out of hats, so I let some other people go. So, but that's the way it works. So that was kind of fun to see the new Fuji Gala space, the expansion space, and it's nice to realize we're still right on schedule and right on budget, and it's coming up opening soon, right, for everything else. So that's exciting. Last night, we had the North Wenatchee Corridor Improvement Open House yesterday, and it was a nice turnout regarding city staff, and project details are all available on our website. Engineering staff, Ryan and Nicole. Hey, how are you guys? You guys are going to do a pop-up event at PIBIS March 29th from 10:30 to 12:30, as well as many other outreach events to get information to the community on the South End Bike Pedestrian Bridge. We're actually getting a lot of comments on this, so this is good for you guys. For us, thank you. And associated construction impacts at the Apple to Capitol Loop Trail, and hopefully people will stop by. Let's try to get that out on our, social media and get people there to ask you lots of questions. We only have a couple days left for the comprehensive plan, so if you did it, you don't have to be in the city limits. Please grab our website and do that survey. Our goal, I think we have quite a few already. I think we're at 500, 600 or so, which is an incredible number, but let's try to push that out so we can try to hear from everybody in our community. And the Confluence Parkway Phase 1 groundbreaking will be held on April 17th. And so we're hoping to have a few people from our, from our community, of course, and then we also reached out to all of our state and federal representatives, but they're still, I don't know how many are going to show up if they can, depending on how their budget situation's going. So let's hear from the city council. What have you guys been up to?
Putting on a hard hat tour or participating in it. It went off really well. It was a lot of fun and great turnout. And then next Thursday, I will attend Masawa one last time to introduce Myra. And I will also serve as her alternate, so.
Yep.
Nice. Thanks for stepping up.
Happy to help.
I appreciate her very much.
Thank you.
Councilmember Cuevas?
Yes, today, tomorrow, it's the Northwest, it's the Mariachi Northwest Festival. Your Honor, we were there at the tour they gave us for all these numerous mariachi bands coming from all over the state at the Wenatchee Valley College. It was an unbelievable day to be there to see all these professionals, musicians, act and perform. It's incredible to see what we have here, that we are hosting it. I'm encouraging everybody to buy a ticket and spread the word that this Saturday it's going to be the concert at the high school. Sheila Durkal will be present, and I sent an email for everybody to spread the word and get the message out there to buy tickets.
It was great. No, it was great. People from California, some teachers came from California,
Yeah,
Idaho, Oregon, yes.
And these
500
teachers.
students.
Over 500 students, and these are professional teachers, mariachi, that perform worldwide concerts. They're here training our students, and it's a fabulous way. I like it.
Thanks for staying involved.
Thank you.
How about this side?
No report?
Okay,
Nothing, sir.
okay.
Attended the Chelan Douglas Housing Task Force, continuing to work on the strategic plan.
Thank you. Councilmember Navarro Gomez.
Did you hear the sigh? Learning a lot. I've been able to meet with a lot of our directors here in-house. Just excited to see all the great work that's happening internally. I attended the Northwest Corridor Project event last night. Really good presentation, visuals. They had a great team that was there to answer any and every question, so kudos to our team. Also working really hard. We met with two of our engaged Wenatchee School District students today who are really looking forward to potentially starting junior city council. And yes, excited to join the Misawa team and just continuing to learn.
Thank you. This time, I believe we're going to try to go into executive session.
Do you have someone you reading that, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
You want me to do it?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to meet in executive session for a time period not to exceed 15 minutes with legal counsel present to consider acquisition of real estate by purchase when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of increase in price, RCW 42.30.110(1)B, where no action will be taken.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Ormby and second by Councilmember Atkinson for City Council to meet in executive session for a time period not to exceed 15 minutes with legal counsel present to consider the acquisition of real estate by purchase when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of increased price, RCW 42.30.1101B, and no indication of any action after we're done with the executive session. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, when we come out, it should be just adjournment. All right, we're back from our executive session and use a motion to adjourn.
Your Honor, I would like to make a motion for the city council, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Navarro Gomez and second by Councilmember Cuevas to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.